Welcome back to my Corvette journey. In the previous videos, I took my transmission out of my 1995 Corvette to get it rebuilt. Well, now it's back, so we have to go put it back in. I need approximately 2 foot of clearance. 2 foot of clearance to get the transmission under here. So you have to go up. Well, I might be able to do that. We're going to try that. Well, we'll see if we can squeeze this thing underneath. It doesn't lack a lot. Try to release the strap against my better judgment. And we're going to see if we can lift the tail to let the front down. Well, that worked remarkably well. Alright, now we go back down, put this back on the jack stands, carefully. Oh, we're hitting on the transmission a little. Get me back that far. Alright, the next struggle is to get the torque converter on. This should be fun. Get all the stuff out of the way again. Okay. Gotta spin it around till you feel it drop in the pump. There we go. That's success. Each step along the way. I get transmission lines around the front of the bell housing. I gotta try to stab the, making sure everything's free. These are looking pretty close. Alright. See if we can get a bolt started way the heck up in there. That'd be exciting. That'd be kind of a win, early win for the day. Well, when we were last watching, we were bolting the transmission to the engine. Have all the bolts in. All the bolts are torqued. Got the dipstick tube seated all the way in, as you see. And then next up, I've got to tighten up the cooler lines. I'm going to bolt the torque converter down, and then we'll see what's next. Alright, now we're going to torque the torque converter bolts. We're going to bring this around, like to right there. There we go. Torque wrench. Oh, we gotta go a little further. Too many wrenches here. Let's see. I got the 15 on there. Right there. It's perfect. Alright, now I gotta use something to keep it from spinning, so I'm putting this in here, and we kind of do a double whammy. Okay, you hear the click? That's 45 pounds. We do that on all 3 of the bolts. Now that we're done torquing the torque converter down, I'm going to go ahead and put the dust shield on. Line that up in place. That's 4 10mm bolts. Alright. As I say, that ain't going nowhere. Alright. Now, gotta get the starter bolt back in there. Okay. All right. There we go. That's probably it right there. We'll tighten the starter down and we'll start moving towards the back of the car. All right. So now that I've got everything in the front done, I've got to plug in this speed sensor. And then also have to plug in the actual computer cable. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to try to figure out how that goes. Oh, that was easy. Easy button. And then I'll plug in the speed sensor, and then we'll start working on the drive shaft and the transmission brace and all that, but we're not really terribly far from being done. But in the manual it says you're supposed to use a windshield adhesive or some sort of urethane on the surfaces of the where the channel mount goes. So I've read a little bit and I'm decided I'm going to use some of this Great Stuff gasket maker because it's pretty resilient, and I'm just gonna smear it on there and see what happens. A ton of it, just enough to smear on the surface to give it a little bit of, mostly for corrosion and sound deadening qualities. I'm gonna smear some of that on all this and see what happens. Better than nothing. Smear it up on the braces too. We'll do it here and then we'll do it down on this side. That's shocking. That was pretty good. Oh. What's the odds of this one going well? Oofda. How does that work? Huh. Using a couple of screwdrivers. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's something. Okay. That was weird. It went better than I thought. So far, I don't know if it's going to continue to keep going like I want. This is really a tight spot to get into. Alright, well, breaking news. It went in pretty good. These bolts are 59 foot-pounds, so we are going to give that a shot. I'm not sure how well this will work the way we're doing it, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay. Alright, that's that one. To tighten and torque the front bolts. They torque down to 37 foot-pounds. Alright, next up is the drive shaft. I have tape on the U-joint back here, so you can see it. I put tape on here to keep it from knocking the caps off, but I'm pretty confident we will not do that now, so I'm going to remove the tape. Alright, this is a new U-joint I put in. Yeah, I just replaced them, but I didn't like how it felt, so in goes a new one. Let's try it. Just like this. There we go. Yeehaw. Alright. We need to start putting some Loctite on these things. It's very liquidy, it's not very thick. Okay, so when we get this one done, we'll tighten it all the way down, snug it up. Can't get a torque wrench on these, so you just kind of give it as much as you can. Alright, that's the U-joint installed. I'm going to put this cable, brake cable back up. We're going to do a little touch-up, clean-up on the exhaust system. My exhaust tips are not looking too happy. All right, well, here's our maiden voyage on the new transmission. Everything went pretty good, but pretty smoothly. And here we go, in drive. Moving under its own power. I call that a win.